That's our intro.
Lovely. Okay, this is probably the question I'm most excited about. Because I feel like we both will have a lot to say about it.
Okay.
So, as an artist,
Me?
you, as an artist, does your art ever turn out 100% how you pictured it in your head? Or do you feel like being an artist means always being dissatisfied with what you make in some regard?
Well, let me cough first.
Yeah, do your thing.
Yeah. Jesus Christ. Okay. That's something that I've been trying to focus more on when I'm processing making videos, especially lately, because I like to be good at my work. I'm good, thank you. I like to be good at my work, even if it is fun work.
Yeah.
But I know I am my own worst critic. Like, I've known that my entire life, and even though I'm trying to work on it, it's still the hardest thing.
Yeah.
And it goes back to like our last talk that we had at the river, where you also see all of the things that other people are posting, and you're like, okay, wait, is that like the newest trend? Okay, wait, is that, you know, so like,
Do I stay on trend, or do I stay true to myself, or is what I want on brand?
yeah, and like it's super interesting because I posted a video, the video from our hike at Hamilton Mountain.
Yeah.
I posted that video on my photography page with a song that I really liked for it.
Yeah.
And I was like, I know the algorithm now in which if you're not going with a trending song,
You're not going to get seen.
yeah, Instagram or TikTok, it is almost like to a T. So I got, I think it was like 11 or 12 likes and like a few hundred views on that one. And I was like, okay, so I know after 2 weeks of that being on there, that's what I got on that one.
Yeah.
Because I know that that song is not well known by a lot of people.
Yeah.
That's okay. But I wanted to do a test, which I know you
I
liked
did see,
it.
Yeah, I was
So-
like, interesting.
Yeah.
Test one.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Exactly. So I posted the same exact video with a trending song on Instagram. It already has like close to 30 likes, and I posted it yesterday.
Yeah.
Close to 30 likes, already a few hundred views. How?
Yeah.
Like, it, and so you think of, obviously like trending songs, like some of them are good. Okay, I'll give you that. But
I really like the one that you used. I'm like, every time that I hear it, I'm like, God, I'm so fucking basic.
Well, see, that's the thing. It's like every time you hear those trending songs, is it because it's truly that good of a song, or is it because we're just so accustomed to hearing it that we're like, oh shit, this has to be good?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. We are a very earworm-based society. We love to hear the same chords over and over again.
Yeah. But with that, like, how can people be so true to what they actually want to do? Because I wasn't like, oh, I got 12 likes, like, oh man, you know.
Damn.
But I was like, okay, is the algorithm really like that fucking stingy?
Yeah. Yeah. I've heard a
Vegan
lot
turkey?
of
Sorry, Slim Jim with cheese in it.
I've heard a lot of artists say that like they feel like they can't do what's the verdict?
It's softer than I thought it would be.
Oh no. A texture disappointment is almost worse than a flavor disappointment to me, if I'm being honest.
You wanna try it?
Yes. That's not the texture I wanted at all. It's better than the old jerky. It's better than the jerky that we got last time.
Yeah.
I hate it.
That's fair. Well, all right. Yeah. Well,
It tastes like
trial and error.
it tastes like Chef Boyardee, like spaghetti and meatballs in a can.
That's so true.
Like, it tastes the way that those meatballs, it's the same texture, too. It's just Chef Boyardee, but vegan.
Well, we tried.
Do you want another granola bar?
No, I'm okay, thank you.
I have other snacks. Anyways, what were we talking about?
Yeah, creativity and like
Oh,
algorithms
right.
and work and
I've heard a lot of artists say that they feel like it'd be selling out to put their art out, like in a way that would be successful. You know, advertising yourself in a way that is successful in today's market, in the social media market,
Yeah.
would inherently sell out their creative vision. Like, it would be undermining the way that they want to present their art to people to be able to get it seen. And it's I don't know, it's like definitely a hard thing to like watch happen. As an artist personally, I feel like I really struggle with two things. Number one, the gay toxic trait of thinking that I could do anything well on the first try.
I mean, are you wrong?
I could do anything.
We're biased, we can't.
It's just not true. I'm just not good at everything the first time that I do it. Some things, yeah. Other things, definitely not.
Yeah.
And I frequently will talk myself out of doing things because I know that I need to practice. And the like prospect of being a student at something sounds fine, but then in practice, it is really difficult to overcome my ego and be graceful with myself in my learning process.
What does ego work look like to you?
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
I thought it was, for the longest time, I thought it was like ignoring and kind of like being very aggressive towards it. And I have learned recently that it's very loving, and at least for me, it needs to be very calm and patient, because I have a tendency to not fully acknowledge things. Like I feel like I do a really good job of breaking down when I'm having like an emotional response to something. As an example, I feel like it doesn't take me any time to get from my emotional reaction to the cause of that emotional reaction, which is very rarely the actual thing that triggered me. I'm definitely I'm a camel, and I will keep adding straws until the thing that finally breaks my back, and then almost immediately I'm like, it was just the one thing. I'm really having feelings about this, and these things are adding to it. And acknowledging those things isn't the problem, but like fully processing them always has been. I'm like, I can see the end. I can see the end step that I need to get to. And I always loved Candyland. I'm always looking for a fucking bridge. Let me skip. Let me just skip over it. I don't want to do that.
Fucking analogies.
Thank you. I just want the fucking Gumdrop Castle. That's all I'm going for. And I know that it's not right. Like, I know that that's not helpful to me or anyone that I'm
Okay,
around.
but are you completely wrong when our entire childhood game was Candyland?
Yeah.
Why can't we
Skip
have
over
that?
it.
Like, come on. Like,
Oh, that was hard? Just kidding.
yeah, I would always, and even to this day, I've played it recently actually for some reason, but I always get stuck on that one that's at like 97 or 98 and it brings you all the way back down to the first one, and I literally feel like my entire life is like that.
Wait, are you talking about Chutes and Ladders?
Oh my god, wait. I played that one recently. Okay, same thing.
The same thing,
basically.
yeah. Yep. I was like 97. I thought we were in the Gumdrop field.
Yeah.
Candy Cane Lane?
Yeah.
No.
They should make a game that's like a cross between the two. you know?
Absolutely,
That'd be
yes. Aren't they already kind of a cross between
Yeah,
the two?
I guess, yeah.
There's no way to... Anyways, that's not what we're talking about. For me, like... I definitely had to start with like ego work in my behavior, because I spent a lot of time, like, I don't know, I'm a very upfront person. If I'm uncomfortable, I'll be like, I'm uncomfortable about this.
Yeah.
If you make me upset, I'll be like, you made me upset.
With like the nicest face possible.
Hey, I'm really mad at you. No, I'd probably start crying. I'm cry at everything. Anyways, sorry, no. I had to do a lot of ego work in my reaction to when people could hear me at face value and accept the things that I was feeling, but then not alter their behavior. I had to work on my ego there first, because it's rarely about you in that situation. But recently I have been like doing a lot of ego work in art and in I don't know, like my perception. I remember thinking this morning, I'm not going to say like or nearly as much this time, and I feel like I've just been saying it the whole time anyway.
We're Valley people, it's fine.
We're Valley people. I'm just a Valley girl. I'll do better, I swear.
I have a question.
Yes.
Wait. Do you feel like with ego work that it's possible to do that work when you're around people who are negative or people who are not working on their own ego?
Yes and no.
Yeah.
This actually segues into what I was about to say anyway,
Yeah.
which is that I feel like I needed to meet Maslow's hierarchy of needs before I could, like, but in terms of ego. So I was coming from a place where I was unsafe, not getting my needs met, and feeling depleted in like pretty much every regard. So Maslow's hierarchy of needs starts off and it's food, shelter, water, like your basic needs, and then your financial needs, your community needs, and then you can, once you get to the top, you're at art and science, like the philosophies and stuff. And so I feel like I started doing ego work around people who were unhealthy for me and who perpetuated unhealthy habits and who helped me stay in a place where I didn't have to work, where I could easily continue to exist but be unhappy and unwell. And when I moved myself out of that area, I could start working on the starting parts, which were within myself, and obviously ego is all within yourself, but the way that I was seeing the world, the lens that I was viewing it through, was very much not conducive to the gentleness that I need with myself to do art that I am proud of.
Right.
Or I guess that I resonate with anytime. You know, like there's art that I've made when I've been really sad that I look back at and I'm like, it's not a bad art, it's not a bad poem, it's not a bad painting, but it doesn't resonate with me now. I'm not that person anymore, and so it doesn't speak to me the same way. And then there's there's other art that I've made that I look at and I'm like, who did that? That was not me.
Yeah.
That was a professional.
Yeah.
Somebody really good made that. But I remember when I made it and I was like, I hate this. This is not what I meant to make. It didn't turn out the way that I like.
How do you trust yourself with knowing that you truly know that you're happy with that piece? Like, what does it take to trust that process?
I don't know. How do you feel when you look at art that moves you, or when you listen to art that moves you?
So like yesterday, we watched Call Me by Your Name. Have you seen it?
I haven't, but I've seen the trailer.
Okay, so it's like, think about watching like an indie film, right?
Yeah.
Where it's like everything that they're doing is so genuine. Like it's not just like one of those blockbuster like, oh, this is just so great, even though it's super
sepia,
shitty.
the score is perfect.
Yeah, there's like half the time there's no actual meaning to like the big blockbuster films.
Yeah.
You know, it's just because they have good people in them.
Yeah.
But like Call Me by Your Name, like an amazing storyline. Even starting out, like it wasn't like super slow, like it caught you like just like that. So there was no like super big emotion I was feeling in the first half of it, and then the second half was like completely like all my emotions were like coming to the surface. Obviously I didn't cry because like I'll save that for later, like
you're
you
an
know.
Aries.
Yeah.
Me cries at anything. Kels will not cry.
Yeah, maybe a tear wanted to come out, but I just like pushed it back in, you know? Like,
I don't do that, man.
yeah.
I just don't do that.
So the super emotional because they know what music
Yep.
they need to put in there to what is happening with the people involved in there. And so like internally watching something, because it's, you know, romantic for the most part, so watching something romantic while also including like the best soft music, right? Who does not feel something when you include soft piano music, or, you know, like
It's impossible.
exactly. And then like they had some amazing scripts too in that.
I figured it out.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Are you are you synesthetic? Synesthesia is when your like when your five senses get mixed up. So you think Ratatouille. Ratatouille is the perfect example. When Remy is tasting the food in the beginning, and he closes his eyes and the screen goes dark, and you see he like does these big pops of color and they make all these shapes. That's synesthesia. We have people. When you like feel a feeling and it has color to you, or like when you say a word and it is associated with a color.
I don't think I relate to that.
Okay.
Yeah, do you?
I do. I have I get my most synesthetic moments when I'm listening to music. I definitely like see music as colors a lot, but it happens a lot with food. And color, and what's the other one? I don't know. Just like I definitely get a lot of other body sensations when I'm experiencing art or food. And I think for me, when I make good art or art that I know that I will like for a long time, it gives me some sort of synesthetic response.
Okay. Do you typically cry when you produce art that you feel a lot with?
No.
No? So
I only cry when I am writing poetry.
oh, that's so soft.
I just sometimes it's because of my generalized anxiety. Like I will and I know a lot of people relate to this. I will play a scenario out to death in my head, like something that would never happen. Ridiculous. Something that would never happen. Things that would not take place. People that wouldn't die. You know, just when I want to have a feeling about something. Do you ever, this might just be me, do you ever feel an emotional response building in you, but you have no like outlet for it? Do you have any like trigger things where you're like, I need to cry. Let me just push this For me, it's the episode of Doctor Who called Angels Take Manhattan. If I haven't cried in a long time and I'm like, there's nothing that's going to make me cry in my regular life, I've got to have an external source, it's that episode.
Yeah. I have a movie that always makes me cry, no matter what. I don't know how it does it.
What's the movie?
It's very similar to Calling You by Your Name, like how that one made me feel. It's called Like Crazy. It's on Amazon, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's another like indie film that they just like, they put all of this like, everything is genuine. Like all this happens in real life and you can relate to it. So you're gonna feel something because you can relate to it.
Yeah.
For the most part, like not everything in there, but
Have you ever seen the movie Amelie?
I don't think so.
It's long, and it's French. There isn't a lot of dialogue, though. Minimal dialogue. I don't know. I love French. I just love hearing it spoken. I think it sounds wonderful. I wish that I was better at learning languages so I could learn it. I just need to put my mind to it. That's immaterial at this moment. It's a wonderful movie, and so much of it is... it resonates, like, I love watching it because the main character, Amelie, is just experiencing the world as such a magical place. And it's really, they describe senses a lot. And I feel like that's really similar with a lot of indie movies. The soft core films.
Yeah.
You're really invited to experience sensation with the characters, which I feel like big blockbuster movies don't really like hit with me. You know, I've never watched a Marvel movie and like, you know, gotten chills.
Yeah, and I think that's also ties into the question originally about creativity, where when I think of what I want to put out there, it's not because it's the trendy thing. It's literally because this is something that I know I feel so much from putting together. Like I felt so much taking that video when I was in that place and then now putting it into a short thing and adding music or whatever I want to. I feel so much, so I know that that could also have an impact on someone else. And like I think that's why I love those like smaller films so much, because like someone's purpose who is a director or, you know, an actor, you can look at those people and be like, okay, you're a famous person. Like you have such power over everyone else out there. Like I see you on the street in New York and like, oh my God, I need to get a picture with you. But if you truly think about that person as a being here, like their purpose is quite honestly to create an experience for you. And like you can view them in like that 2D way, like all you want, but like this person has this gift for a reason. Like not a lot of people can do those things and like make people feel things without you even being in that actual scene, you know?
Yeah. What was the most unexpected response you had to a piece of art? Like, medium doesn't matter, just something you were surprised moved you.
I'd have to think on that one. That's hard. I typically cry a lot to things that I'm watching. I think just like the unexpected anytime I watch a movie where I didn't think that it was gonna end in the way that it did. That always gets me. Yeah. Because like when I look at like art pieces, like if I go to an art museum, I do feel something towards those things. I don't think that like still pictures or paintings or whatever they are, like they don't make me feel a ton. Even if it tells you the meaning behind it, it still is like very minimal for me. Okay. So anything that's that applies to more than one of your senses, I think is like something that definitely hits. Yeah. What about you?
We're at 25 minutes. So I'll say
The human experience.
the human experience. That is so pick me. I'm an existentialist. That's probably not what that means. That word probably doesn't mean what I think it means. Anyways, I think that I think I've been startled by like social media recently. I feel like I've read a few things. I saw a picture the other day from an account that sells hair oil, like totally nebulous, but it was just a beautiful photo, and I was like startled to see it, and the caption went along with it very nicely. And I feel like recently I've seen several social media things that I've been like, wow, that kind of moved me a little bit. What's going on with my algorithm?
In your sensitive era.
I'm in my sensitive era. I've literally always been here. I've never left. Was born in, will be the mayor until I die.
Oh my god. Yeah.
Last race was a tight one. I do feel like I get surprised by sculpture a lot, though. There's a gallery of sculptures at the Indianapolis Art Museum, and there's one that is it's a wooden boat, but it's several wooden boats in a circle, and they're like in various stages of deconstruction. I'll try and find a picture for you later. But it is mesmerizing to look at, and every time that I've ever seen it, it's always made me feel kind of like right on the edge of tears, and I think about it all the time.
Interesting.
Like it just pops into my head sometimes.
Maybe your ancestors made it.
Maybe.